women are making is we don't know how to shut up. You know, a man who has been out fighting in the world all day, he doesn't want to come home and listen to you nag all day long. And a lot of times women like to bait men into senseless arguments every day, just emotional foolishness. And I know that they do it because I have friends or associates that if I offend them or hurt them in any kind of way, they'll send these long, drawn out text messages, you know, just trying to bait you into an emotional conversation. A man that is worried about putting a roof over your head, food on the table, clothes on your back, he doesn't have time for that. So I think one of the biggest mistakes is that Black women don't know how to shut up. And one of the mistakes that men are making is trying to, meet them 50-50. You can't go half and half on craziness.
Can't go half and half on craziness. I agree with that 100%. People, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. Come on. I'm going to tell you something. I tell you guys all the time that a female is living in a fantasy world. They're living in a fantasy world. I told y'all, if you actually think when you converse with a woman, that is the first time she's having that conversation, go get your fucking head examined. Go get your head examined. A woman, what she just said, Black women like to bait men into senseless arguments. No meaning at all. What is the purpose of going around in circles being loopy? What is the purpose? She just said, Black females like to bait men into senseless arguments. Name one time you had an argument that was successfully reached. Name the last time you had an argument with a woman of color and it ended in resolution. Name one. Name the last time you was in an argument, which is conversing, by the way. Heated is different. When you say argue, people think it means no. When the last time you was in an argument? Argument is conversing. That's why when they say all rise, parties, arguments will be heard. They arguing, all right? Name the last time you was in an argument with a woman of color and it was stable after 45 seconds. Name the time. Name the last time you was in a conversation with a woman of color and you didn't get deflection. Name one last time you was in a conversation with a woman of color and she answered the questions. Name one time you was in an argument with a woman of color and she didn't answer the question with the question. Name a time you was in a conversation with a woman of color and she said, "Oh, so what you trying to say is?" Name the last time. People, let me tell you something about poor. Poor people dream the worst dreams. People that are on the lowest totem pole dream more than somebody that's on top. People that's on top, they have dreams too. But they don't dream about, one day I'm going to get an Aston Martin, man, and I'm going to pull up. They don't dream about that. They dream about, you know what? I should go to Dubai and bungee jump off of a building. I'm being sarcastic, I guess, but you know what I'm saying. When you are at the bottom, when you're in the pits, everything that you do is an imagination. Do you not think that scallywag, that super idiot, with 3 kids by 3 different dudes, do you not think she sit down there and be like, yes, Ray Jr., get your damn brother out the microwave. Shaquita, tramping training, get off the pole. It ain't pole training yet. Do you think she is sitting down there saying that? Or do you think she's sitting there saying, boy, I wish I would have. I wish I would have gotten an abortion. You know what? I'm going to call this nigga up and throw some shit at him. Do you not think that? Okay. So let's get this thing started. People, I'm going to tell you something. In the black community, don't engage with a woman that exceeded the time of the fairy tale. Okay? Let me say that again. Don't engage in a woman that exceeded the time of the fairy tale. People, every woman wants that fairy tale wedding. Every woman wants that big ring. The thing with women of color is they don't know how to shut up, as Shamika Michelle said. They don't know how to not be. They don't know how to say to their women, like Shantae Moore said, no, I don't know about your man, but I got a good man at home. It's not happening. It's not happening. What you're going to get is, I'm going to tell this nigga, et cetera, et cetera. I'm putting you up on game. If you got a little 15-year-old son, have him listen to this. Share my videos, and especially give it to a woman you're dating with 3 kids by 2 different dudes and talking about getting married. And know when a woman have exceeded her fairy tale. You exceeded the time limit, of the fairy tale. And so let me break it down like this. I'm talking to a 38-year-old woman right now with no kids, very successful, and she's raped. She's raped. What do I mean by she's raped? Raped is she done all the things she has exceeded the pinnacle of self-success. Now she wants to share it with somebody. So what do I mean? People, every time I see old white people talk about retirement, the one thing that they factor into their retirement is college funds for the kids. College funds for the kids. What does that mean? That means that the average successful white person have kids around 40 years old, between 35 and 45 years old. That's why when they get 60 and 65, when it's time for them to retire, they're now spending money on their children who are just graduating from high school. Now, according to me and you, high school is between 17 and 18. So if you minus 18 from 65, you'll have 47. Yeah. That's what that means. Yeah. Okay, you'll have 47. So that means they're ready at 40. They done established, they done did everything, met the right mate, brought the house. They done put everything in place to have the child. When you meet a woman of color and she's 30 years old and she got a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 11-year-old, you don't get the fairy tale no more. It's over. When you meet a woman that's 50 years old and all you do is look back on her life and you can see that individual did nothing but things for self, leave that individual alone. That individual is a woman that she exceeded the fairy tale lifetime span. She exceeded it. You get no fairy tale. You was rocking on some independent, I'm free, I got all this stuff going on and I'm not having children and I'm not getting married and all this. You've exceeded that. You don't know when you listen. Appreciate those thumbs up. When you're dating a woman, when you're in a relationship with a woman, you're in a relationship with their imagination. You're in a relationship with their imagination too. And when you're in a relationship with their imagination, You got to understand that that person is their reality, they're in touch with reality isn't like it is when they were younger. When you meet a person that's nothing but hardship, let us go at it like this. A chick got 3 kids by 3 different dudes. She's on welfare, she's on Section 8, and got a 1999, a 2000 Honda Accord. It has issues. It has over 200,000 miles on it. She pulls up to the light, looks over, and there's a female with a brand new Honda Accord. Do you not think she's saying, wish I had that Honda? Do you not think their admiration goes high? Do you not think her imagination is saying, one day I'll have a new Honda? And then when a lady, she's not gonna pull off in front of her. She's gonna, when the light turns green, she's gonna be like, you go ahead first, because I want to admire the way you pull off. What are you gonna do? I'm serious. I'm serious. I use Honda because I have the Insight. I have the 2021 Honda Insight. So I just got tired of having a old everyday car. So real cool car, by the way. Do you not think her imagination is wee and just all over the place? Of course it is. So when they get with a man, guess what? She's saying, I can't afford a car, but I'm gonna set the stage for this idiot. He's the idiot. Who would date me with 3 kids by 3 different dudes? He's an idiot. He's a sucker for love. I wouldn't date a guy with 3 kids by 3 different women. And then she starts slowly, well, since we together, a real man will help a woman when she need help. She starts hitting them with shit from her imagination, not with the reality of what they're going through now. You want an example of this, yes? Okay. In 2017, because I had just got this place. And I decided that I was going to start fixing it up for the League of Dad Studios from the other studio. I met this woman, 5'9". I never had sex with her. I'm glad I didn't. Woman was 5'9". Had her ass bigger than the state of Virginia. I used to dream about just putting my fucking hand in between her ass cheek to check the depth of her booty crack. Yeah. I'm a booty crack checker. What are you gonna do? I met this woman on a Friday. On Tuesday, you probably remember the story. On Tuesday, this scallywag asked me, what she asked me? She said, oh, are you over here? Are you over this way? Because I need some lunch. I said, well, hold on. I said, because what I don't do, I don't feed nobody that don't live in the same house as me. So even if I was over there, that ain't happening. 4 days. Only known in 4 days. She's trying to condition me to start bringing her food. All right. 8 days after that, 8 plus 4 is 12. A total of 12 days of knowing this woman. I didn't so much as kiss her. I didn't so much as give her a hug. Nothing. She sends me a picture of 3 rings. Pick which one you gonna buy me because I'm ready to get married. 12 days I've known her total. But why? Why was this woman sending me all this? She had 5 kids by 3 different dudes. She lived at home with her mama. She was 45 years old and talking about, I'm trying to get on at the shipyard with a minimum wage job. So, when you that fucked up in the game, the fantasies goes high. The good life is only reached by imagination. That's why you'll sit there with a woman and you'll just listen to her. And the more fucked up she is in the game, the more loopy her narratives are. I dated a woman, the woman I'm dating now, we dated for over a year and a half before. She ain't never talked to me about marriage. Never talked to me about marriage. But an individual with 5 kids by 3 different dudes, live at home with a mama. And I'm gonna give her due respect. The son was the oldest, and then it was 4 girls. They all lived in the same house. The mother and the 4 girls and her lived in the same house. And in about a 700 square foot home. In the backwoods of Virginia, where they made small homes back in, the house was built like in the 40s or 50s. Old house. Real small house. It wasn't no big ass house. It was a house fit for a 60-plus-year-old woman. Her father passed away. It was perfect for her. But she in there with all that estrogen. And she wanted to throw a barbecue, a family reunion barbecue. And her mother said, no, you ain't doing that here. So her imagination is high. The fucked up the woman is in the game, the more imaginative her imagination is high. Know when you're dealing with a woman that has exceeded her imagination timeline. You've exceeded that. You've exceeded, the coming to give you lunch with rose petals. You've exceeded, baby. Your car broke down. You can hold one of mine. You've exceeded that. You don't get that no more. You've shown that with all your babies, you've shown through the timeline that even a woman that's beautiful and don't have a man, you've shown men don't mean nothing to you that they should mean. Men don't mean that to you. You're running tables. You're running tables. You're like a waiter. You're just serving up tables right now. You got one, this guy's in your coochie at table 5, table number 11, dude up in your coochie 2, and table number 2, dude up in your coochie 2. Time have shown when an individual, people, let me tell you something. If you see an ugly woman in a relationship, if you see an ugly woman with a ring on, there's no reason why a pretty, gorgeous, voluptuous woman shouldn't. Understand a woman's imagination. Understand when you're dealing with a woman, understand you are dealing with that woman's imagination. That's what you're dealing with more than anything. You are dealing with that woman's imagination. Don't think you're not. Don't meet a woman with 5 kids by 5 different dudes. Don't meet a woman with 2 kids. Don't meet a woman that exceeded. Don't let a woman tell you, I want a big wedding, and I want all my friends to be there. No, you don't get that. Only a woman with no kids get that. That's it. You ain't got no kids, you've waited. That when you ain't got no kids, you waited. Because I want to be clear about something. And here's what I learned. And a lot of you guys may listen to me. Appreciate those thumbs up, by the way. Stop fucking with me. Don't be a fucking with me here. Listen to what I'm about to say. The best gift a woman can give to a man is a child. If a woman ain't giving you the best gift, there's no reason to ever marry them. There isn't. There's no reason to marry a woman that ain't gonna give you a child. It's not. Don't allow the child support thing to rob you out of your due. Your due as a man. You're supposed to have a junior. You're supposed to have someone that you influence. You're supposed to have somebody that lead that when you leave here, they represent you. After all, the saying goes, here lies Joe Wilson. He survived by his 3 sons and his wife. He survived by. You ain't supposed to lay yourself in the ground and knowing the scalawags that you probably had a baby with, she ain't even gonna let your kid come to the wedding. She ain't even gonna, to the funeral, excuse me. She ain't even gonna do that. There are women out there that ain't, hey listen, this platform is for fathers and men that been through it. Not every man that been through it. You know why not every man that been through it? Not every man been through it? Because not every woman gonna put this man through this shit. I've been telling y'all that for years. I'm open-minded. I don't think just one. This is why I don't understand why the individuals that I tried to date in my life went the way they went. This is why I call them super idiots. I learned this narrative last year. Super idiots. They're the dumbest people on this planet. Women of color. They're the dumbest. There isn't anybody close. There isn't a creature close. It isn't. It isn't. It isn't. I mean, people. Companionship is the number one thing in life. It's a storm, and you got somebody going through that storm with you. You hurt, and you got somebody on your beck and call. You're on the, you know what I mean. You can call on them, shit. And you're gonna have to call on them in your companionship because they right there going through it with you. But you meet idiots that says they want to shit on men and want to inhale burgers, be a fucking calorie kidnapper. Hold on. You shit on companionship, which means he's going to absorb more of some of your hurt and go through it with you. But you fat as hell. Understand what you're going through. Understand who you're dealing with. Understand when you are dating a woman that has exceeded the imagination timeline. Heart made a song called These Dreams. It says, these dreams, they go on when I close my eyes. Every second of the night, I live another life. Check you guys on the next one. Later, y'all.